Today we're going to make a very small project, and what I actually wanted to do is, you have these egg cups here, and you know they're cheap to buy, but what really annoys me is that they're hollow. So if you do put them in the washing, you know, they fill up with water, and it just annoys me. And then I said, like, okay, how hard can it be to make a egg cup out of wood? So I went into our firewood log house and I found this piece of wood. It looks like to be, I think it's birch, but the size of it will do exactly right. Now, the last time we started with a piece of wood and we kind of shaved it all around, and then, you know, tried to get rid of any cracks that are in here. So you can see there's one here and there's some cracks on the other side. Today I'm going to be lazy. I'm just going to be sawing this off, that we have a nice piece here, and then we're going to put it into the lathe and see if we can make some egg cups. Alright, see you in a bit. So I've done my sawing. I burned the hell out of it, basically telling me I need to get a new saw blade for that. But we got two lovely pieces which I'm hoping to turn into egg cups. So since we're having small pieces, it should be pretty quickly and painlessly to turn these into nice round shapes, and then we'll make these into egg cups. So let's not waste any time and get the first one mounted. And take it gently, no rush. You want to get that rough stuff off, the bark, getting it off, and very light pressured taking off material. Especially that bark is going to fly around all over the place, so make sure you wear eye protection. I noticed that I'm easing the tool over the piece, not staying too much time at one side. But I want to get my piece as even as possible. We're starting to get some good peeling off it, showing that we're getting to the wood. And I can see we're actually getting a lot of the wood there. And again, I'm just trying to ease the tool over the piece. Noticing when I'm getting too tapered and getting back. Shouldn't be much more, otherwise our egg cup is going to be too small. Alright, let's try again. We're going to take something out of the middle because I'm conscious of that. I don't have too much material to work with. But one of the things that I will do with this egg cup is give it some hourglass shaping. There we go. Now we have to be careful now with this hourglass shape, because the risk of biting into the material will increase now. So I'm just going to go for a slightly smaller tool, because this one is quite wide. You see, this one is quite smaller, so it gives me a little bit more room, hopefully, to continue giving this piece a lovely hourglass figure, because I'm getting to that point where even this tool can start biting into the material. I don't want that to happen. So again, I'll switch to a smaller blade, this one here, and this one I'm going to be kind of like wedging it in my hand and trying to get a nice, clean, smooth, round cut into it. It's starting to take shape now. Alright, now just to even things out, I'm just going to get this scraping tool here and be very careful and very gently. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, that looks really nice and smooth. Now, I sharpened my tool, so let's see if that does the trick, because I noticed before that when I have this shuttering going on that the tool might have gone blunt, so let's see if it makes a difference. Oh, we got a much better cut. Right. Now for the last bit we'll get rid of it at the end, but for now I want to go back here and make my cut for the bottom. So let's go. So I'm going to give it a little bit more speed. And we have separation. I'm getting less and less scared of this final point where it separates. If you're working with larger pieces, you know, things can get loose and fly around. Small pieces like this, don't be too worried. Okay. Okay. Put it in. And again, using both holes of the chuck. Don't overdo it, because you don't want to have like big nasty tool marks all over your piece, because you end up turning around until you have like a miniature egg cup that won't even fit into the reversible chuck anymore. So, alright. So let's clean that bit up and see if I can move the camera just a little bit. There. Okay. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to clean this up using a very sharp chisel. Where do I have it? Ah, there it is. It was hiding. I'm just going to spin it up, make sure it's running free. Then give it a bit of speed. Move in my tool a little bit, my tool rest. There we go. That's our rest done. Now if you want to make it a little bit more appealing, you can kind of go for a little hollowing out. It just gives a little bit more dimension to the piece. So I'm going to do that now. I'm just going to give it a bit more speed. Go. Since we're quite flat working away on it, you'll switch to a smaller tool much quicker, like this. Alright, I'm going to get rid of that pointy center. There we go. Okay, let's have a look. That looks pretty good. Okay, now we're going to reverse the piece. That's going to be the most work we're going to have on this egg cup, is actually hollowing it out. So, we've got it nice and tight. Both holes. So we want to get rid of this piece here, there in the middle. Just going to use the cutting tool for this. I'm just going to adjust it a little bit. Just going to rotate to see my tool is not touching anywhere. Okay. It's too high. Alright, that's better. Okay, I'll take my chisel. Perfect smoothness. And now we can start hollowing it out. Whoa, careful. And just even it out a little bit. It's hard to see what's going on. I'm just going to give it a bit of a brush. Okay, let's have a look at it now. Okay, that looks a lot better. So I know I could like do a little bit more with it, give it a more different shape to it, but for an egg cup holder and for a quick project, I think I'm pretty happy with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a strip of 100 sandpaper, give this a finish. Get the inside as well. There we go. We'll give it a little brush and clean. So we get our linseed oil out, put it on a slow rotation, and give it some proper loving. Getting it all nice on the inside, and it will bring out the grain. There we go. Just going to let this penetrate the wood. Take my strip again, speed up, give it a good speed, and I'll just lightly. And there we go. We'll just give it a stop and a once over. Dust any debris off. And give it a final application with linseed oil. So, back to low speed. There we go. I'll let that draw in. Now we're not finished yet, because what we still would need to do is take care of the foot. Okay. Now, okay, I'm just going to remove the excess, although it's like absorbing pretty good. So. Okay, make sure I remove any dust from here. Fit it into the chuck. Now remember, it's very thin now, so don't apply too much pressure. We're only going to sand now. That's all we're going to do. So slightly clamp it in. It also prevents from excessive tool marks. Right. So I'm just going to take a fresh strip of 100 shaving paper. Okay, start up the machine, give it a bit of speed. So we are always sanding in two directions. Alright, so we give it a bit of a brush. Now we do this part with linseed oil. Give it a nice lick with that. for a final sand down. Which we're going to do, of course, in both directions. Okay, slow it down. Last application of linseed oil. There we go. You're going to take this cloth and just give it a little buff here. Wipe the excess off. And there we have it. Ta-da!